Everyone in the Balkan now is talking about AI, data centers, power grids, and this kind of shit, my friend. Take cities, but nobody's asking the crucial questions. Can we even keep our lights on? Super. Welcome. Balkan Breakfast Talk Show, my friends. New mini-series about the Balkan countries. A like and a subscribe, it would help me a lot, bre. And I open this buy me a coffee link if you want to tip, donate to this channel. Something, if not, stay, enjoy, free of charge. Super. Today, my friends, we're going to see the part 2 of the Balkan technology. But this is about the power grid, internet, political interference, investors, and this kind of stuff. Super. The weather outside, bre, today, lele, touch myself. So, my friends, we want to host the future in the Balkans, the future of AI and data centers and blah, blah, blah. But, my friends, you see, our grid is actually designed for a Rade Conchar washing machine. I'm sorry, but that's the reality. Super. So, my friends, first of all, let's see the power grids. The real limit of a digital ambition, let's say. For example, my friends, data centers, how can I say, if you want to have data centers in your country, my friend, or invest in the data centers, first of all, my friends, they actually inhale electricity. They don't sip it, they inhale it like that. First of all. Second of all, my friends, they're actually consuming as much or even in some cases even more than a small city. Of course. Constant cooling solution is needed for this stuff. Especially in the Balkans, my friends, where in the summertime is 48 degrees. We're burning like chickens in Kaufland. You understand? And, of course, one more very important thing, my friends, is actually the zero tolerance outages. Something which we actually, these three things, we don't have it in the Balkans. You understand? We don't. Let's be honest. My friends, what are the strengths, let's say, of the power grids? We have, as I mentioned in the previous video, a lot of water and a lot of sun. We're not using it to produce enough energy. We're using it to send me a little bit. Then the rest, my friends, we're selling it to some foreign investor who is gonna come and who is gonna abuse it. Very important. You understand? Super. My friends, legacy heavy industry grids. Super. We have it. Super. And let's say, for example, in some countries, not in all the countries, for example, in my country, this is not true. Cheap electricity. Cheaper, let's say, for example, than the other countries. So you see, we have some incentive to give to somebody to invest in the data centers or for us to invest in the data centers and sell the services, for example. But, my friends, we have actually a lot of weaknesses. I have to be honest, don't get mad at me. Super. I'm just being brutally honest like in every episode. My friends, first weakness, very important, is actually, my friends, the aging infrastructure. My friends, in some of the countries, these power grids were actually made even before Josip Broz Tito was born. You understand? The world wars finished, they made the power grid. Super, works. Don't upgrade, don't change. Don't touch. These old grandmas. If it works, don't touch. Super. My friends, seasonal instability, because in the Balkans it's extremely hot during summertime, so my friends, we all have air conditioners. For example, my friends, in my city, if we turn the air conditioners, all the people, if we turn it on in the same time, my friends, the whole city, propast. No electricity. Problem. My friends, we also have in the Balkans something which is called poor maintenance structure. Culture. Because, my friends, as I said, we're not maintaining it because this shit is expensive. It costs a lot of money. Of course, the politicians, they don't give a shit. And we have this mindset which we need to change immediately, like the old grandmas, my friends. If it works, don't touch it. Yes, maybe that was functioning millions of years ago. Now, my friends, you have to upgrade it constantly because the new devices, the new data center, especially, my friends, the AI is consuming so much energy you cannot even imagine. You understand? Super. So, my friends, I totally forgot, I'm sorry. Lele. Pičku majčinu. I'm sorry. So, my friends, then let's see the part for the internet. So, in general, not everywhere, but in general, my friends, in the urban areas, the internet is, how can I say, okay. Super. It's affordable? Yes, it is. It's competitive? Okay, it is. For example, my friends, as I mentioned, in Greece, the internet is shit. Maybe in Athens, in the some good neighborhoods, like in the center, the rich neighborhoods and blah blah blah. Super, my friends. If you go to Kalitea or to this kind of parts in Athens, the internet is lele bože is shit. I'm not even joking. And in Thessaloniki, my friends, as well. You understand? For example, Zagreb has actually really good internet. Ljubljana as well. You know, Skopje works, but it doesn't. Sofia, super. So depends. Super. But my friends, we have a problem with the internet in the rural areas. So for example, my friends, if you want to put this Fifi, I will do all you can. Sorry. Microphone crazy, like me. My friends, in the rural areas, because let's be honest, when these data centers, when you will build it, or when the investors will buy it, they will, first of all, my friends, will actually check the rural areas. It's free. I mean, it's free. It's not free, but everything there, my friends, is cheap as fuck, first of all. Sorry. Second of all, in the big capitals, my friends, we don't have space anymore to put these data centers in the big capitals because, my friends, the construction mafia built everything and now they're selling 10,000 euros of apartment. So you understand? Understand? Super. I mean, not super, but super. So we have a problem with the internet, my friends, in the rural areas. Underdeveloped, neglected, and so on and so on and so on. So you see, we're actually dependent on the region infrastructure, my friends, ISP, the internet service providers, which in the Balkans, I mean, they're okay, but they're nothing special. And my friends, outdating routing systems, which we have it. You understand? Super. My friends, data centers. Before I start, I want to mention something. For example, I was researching it deep. Data centers, let's say, for example, we have it in, my friends, Belgrade and Kragujevac, which is hosting, my friends, Orion. I have it here. Orion Telecom, Phoenix NAP or NAP, I don't know, doesn't matter. But in Kragujevac, when I actually read and when I was researching this, it actually hosts data, my friends. IBM, Oracle, Huawei. Bravo, super. My friends, in Greece, in Thessaloniki, believe it or not, even though with the internet, they actually managed to do something. Maybe they're using Starlink. Who knows? Who knows? It's called, my friends, Balkan Gate Thessaloniki. Tier 3 career neutral facility, which actually is, how can I say, like a critical interconnector hub for the whole region. Super. Then, my friends, in Bulgaria, I was reading about, how was it? ACDC in Varna. Super. So you see, we have it. It's not like in Frankfurt. It's not like in the other, like in, where was it? Amsterdam, Rotterdam, and this. It's not like that, but we're slowly getting there. Slowly. Which is okay. So, my friends, the data centers, as I said, they need grid, like, how can I say, reliability. Super. Extremely good cooling solutions, especially for the Balkans, because it's extremely hot. Legal stability. Pichku much. But, and my friends, something which everybody is ignoring, nobody's thinking about, is the long-term price guarantees. Because, my friends, the people who will host their data, you will host that data, for the companies. Not the people, sorry. My friends, you will negotiate about the price. Usually in the Balkans it's cheaper. I'm not saying no. But in today's modern times, my friends, especially with the cyber attacks, even though not all of them are actually coming from where the television is saying to you that they're coming from, most of them are actually orchestrated from domestic for a different video. I don't want to get too political. Super. My friends, we need something which is called cybersecurity, which I mentioned in most of the European continent is shit. So you see, if these people want to use your data center, they will need something like this, which we need to develop immediately because we actually have very good people who are very knowledgeable in cybersecurity. But because our politicians are stupid. They actually forgot about them. Sorry, and these people went to, I know a lot of them actually went to Asia, to Asian countries because of a lot of money. And of course, America. They ignored the whole European market. You understand? That's why here, my friends, I don't know what the fuck, we're actually going around the data centers with a shield. We're protecting it. Old school, with the shield. Like warriors, like Vikings. Doesn't matter. So, my friends, for the data centers, the Balkan can actually offer something which is called land, because the land, especially in the rural areas, my friends, is extremely cheap. But then again, you have to think about the internet, because it's not connected. It's not like you're gonna put extension cord by internet. You actually have to build the infrastructure. Sorry. You understand? You have to build the infrastructure. Which is building, I know, but we have actually so much regions, my friends, that are ghost cities and ghost villages, which I mentioned in the previous episode. My friends, which actually can be used for benefit for this. And I said, I don't want to sell this idea again for free. You have now data centers which are totally sustainable, just they need water. You can dig deep and find this. This is actually sold for money, it's not a free advice. Super. You understand me? Super. Then, my friends, the Balkans can actually offer something which is called cost advantage. We will be, of course, cheaper than the main servers, London, Frankfurt, Amsterdam, and so on. So I don't want to buy Brussels. Johannes and Helga will be mad because we will host the data centers, not them. Don't worry, they're again gonna find some combinatia to actually gather money from. Don't worry, politicians, super. And my friends, geographic position in the Balkan is bombona. Super. I don't want to bother. So my friends, let's say for example, the difference between European, American and Chinese tech. Who owns the stock? So, first of all, my friends, American ecosystem in general, is dominant, my friends, in cloud operating systems. So, Mac OS, Windows, blah, blah, blah. And enterprise platforms. So they have something which is called innovation speed, because there is a lot of money, my friends. They're throwing money in these things, AI as well. They're throwing money in these things, my friends, so they can develop it faster. Super. And my friends, they have something which is called mature ecosystems. The ecosystems are mature and they're working good. They're tested for a lot of years. Super. But my friends, they have something which is called dependency risk, which is a con. Super. I don't want to bother you. My friends, Chinese ecosystem, they're competitive, for example, in hardware. Everything that you use, my friends, made in China. You understand? I don't want to bother you. Super. And of course, one more thing that is actually very important, and in some European countries is banned, is actually the telecom infrastructure. You understand? They're banning it. There is some country, my friends, for example, you cannot use a ZTE modem, or you cannot use a Huawei, Xiaomi, and so on and so on and so on. But the pros for the Chinese tech, my friends, is actually they're cost efficient and their rapid deployment. So for example, they actually made a BYD factory in Hungary like this. They did like this, no problem. If you want to buy a Chinese car, my friends, now in the Balkans, and if it's not in stock, my friends, they will order it. It will come to the shop in 2, 3, 5 days. These people are amazing with the whole logistics. I mean, honestly, the cons for the the cons, my friends, for the Chinese technology in general is actually, my friends, the surveillance concerns. Even though, do you actually think that this brand over here, I don't want to show, this brand is not spying on you? Honestly, it is, but doesn't matter. And my friends, again, political leverage fears. Super. European ecosystem then, European technology, software, hardware. We have something which is our main focus here, is of course, my friends, the privacy first framework, which is good. Okay, super. Does it work? Yes, like my hip. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Then we have focus on regulatory protection. You understand this written stuff. Super. The pros is actually data sovereignty and, my friends, consumer safeguards. Super. But the cons, my friends, is that this GDPR is this shit that you have the certifications on. So like the scaling is extremely slow, my friends. The bureaucracy, everything is like we say pretrupan. It's like poured with bureaucracy on every fucking European product. And, my friends, fragmented innovation. So, for example, how can I say? In the Balkans, we actually mostly consume. We don't produce. But, my friends, we have something which is now interesting, which is the big powers in this world. Let's say, for example, I don't want to bother you, but the two, America, China, technology-wise. My friends, they're competing, of course, for the data center. So you can host their data. Super. But, my friends, if you host data, let's say for the Chinese in some Balkan country, then the Americans will get mad at you. If you host American data, then the Chinese will get mad at you. So you see, you have to be smart and be political and know how to play around these things, because these things are very, how can I say, you can actually fuck up everything with one bad move. That's how our politicians fucked everything, because they didn't know how to play with everybody, how to navigate, like a fish, bre. Hey, like Finding Nemo. You understand? That's how they fucked up everything, and now they're gonna fuck up even this, because these two world powers are competing now for tech markets, with products, with hardware, with software, with everything. They're competing. You have to be smart, my friends, and know how to, and of course you have to have actually good engineers and actually, my friends, good analysts to see if somebody actually wants to extract some data from your country. Let's leave it at this. I don't want to bother. Super. My friends, privacy in the Balkans is like the old grandmas that are staying, my friends, on the window, and they're these grandmas which they know everything. So, my friends, privacy in the Balkans, shit. In my country, for example, now if they're coming in the supermarket when they're buying something, if they want to pay by card, my friends, they're giving a physical card to the cashier like this. The cashier takes the card, ting, gives it back. I can see all the data. Doesn't matter. Older people. Super. So, my friends, as I said, data is really important. Data is actually the new currency. Data is used everywhere. Data is even going to be your tax for the future. Remember this, very important. You will see, because in the cashless society, my friends, you're going to pay tax with your data. If your data is good, super. If your data is bad, under the bridge near the dumpsters with the rats, you have two realities to choose from. Watch out. Watch out, very important. Super. My friends, so our Balkan systems are actually catching up to this data privacy. First of all, we have, my friends, weak enforcement culture, like always. We have inconsistent compliance. It doesn't match. Super. I mean, not super, but super. Public ignorance, my friends. We're ignorant, lele. And, my friends, we have something which is called legacy surveillance habit. So we actually worry about that the foreigners are spying and the foreigners destroyed our countries and the foreigners did this. But, my friends, we actually don't know how to protect our ass. This is the honest truth. This is the honest truth. Super, my friends. So, how can I say? The digital sovereignty, my friends, requires actually enforcement capacity. It requires citizen awareness, so for you to be aware, and institutional modernization. For example, my friends, now in my country, the system for catching you on the street and with the car and blah blah blah, like something like how is it called, driving system, blah blah, doesn't matter. Now we have cameras everywhere. Super. So, my friends, it actually takes a picture of you, of your license plates and blah blah blah, to see if you're wearing a seatbelt, to see how much you're driving and blah blah blah. And this data is stored into local servers and local data center. Super, super. My friends, do you actually think that we have, how can I say, people who actually care about your data. The most biggest cryptocurrency exchanges in 2000, was it 21 or 23, I cannot remember, the whole data was leaked. Gemini, Crypto.com, even Binance. Do you actually think, my friends, that our stupid politicians that are keeping our data now, with your picture and your license plate and what kind of car you're driving, do you think that they will keep it safe from attackers and hackers? Or maybe they will sell it to somebody. Who knows, my friends? For Shushki, they can do everything. They're not good in the head, as I mentioned. Super. My friends, I don't want to bother you. How many? 20 minutes? Okay, we have some time. Enjoy. Super. My friends, can the backbone actually support a tech future in the Balkan countries? Yes, but not passively. So, in the urban centers, it's ready. It still has a lot of work to be done, but it's ready. Rural systems, uneven. Somewhere untouched, somewhere uneven, somewhere they start something but they forgot about it, or they run out of money because they're in Hawaii with their Barbie dolls. Fragile, I mean the institution, fragile, not very corrupted, outdated, not modernized. The people who are there are actually before pension, so they don't know, they don't understand this shit about the technology. Super. Digital sovereignty, it's still developing. Let's leave it like that. Super. So, my friends, I'm like your drunk uncle. I know everything. And I fixed every problem. So I'm gonna fix even the part 2 of the Balkan technology problem. I'm not, but I'm gonna try. Super. My friends, first and foremost, in all the countries, grid modernization every year. Now even every quarter. I'm not even joking, because when you see how much the new systems and the new hardware and the new software, even everything is using your power, my friends, and blah blah blah, you will be amazed. As I said, zero outages tolerance. Remember, super. That, my friends, nationwide fiber reliability. So not just cities, full coverage. As I said, for the foreign investors and for us, Gastrobite, or if some of us want to invest in data centers and blah, 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 my friends, I will be very smart and I will do a market research. Super. The investors as well, they're not stupid. And they will want to invest in the rural areas because it's cheaper, my friends. They can buy the land for the data centers even for free. It's very cheap. So they will invest it there. But of course, my friends, if they don't have the full infrastructure, it's going to be extremely big problem. We still cannot depend on Starlink. You understand? I'm just joking, but you understand. Then, my friends, data center infrastructure zones, as I said. Make couple of zones, bre. Make couple of zones. Develop the whole infrastructure around these zones. Modernize the cooling, because the cooling is extremely important. Everybody is talking about this electricity. My friends, but all the people are actually forgetting about the cooling. The cooling is extremely important. This shit, okay, I'm gonna be plastic. I mean, plastician, which actually means I'm gonna be direct with you. My friends, this computer, I'm gonna explain to you like 2-year-old. This computer, when it's working, when it's under load, it's getting very hot. So imagine, my friends, in a room, you have 20,000 of them. For example, my friends, they're gonna get hotter, put a 20,000. If you don't invest in good cooling, especially in the Balkans, where it's 47 during the summertime, problem. And these cooling solutions, my friends, are actually now good, especially I saw a lot of Japanese, my friends, cooling solutions, which are extremely good. I think Mitsubishi, doesn't matter. I don't want to bother you. I don't know. I have to check. Which are extremely good, but they're expensive. So everybody's forgetting about this crucial step. Very important. It's not only the electricity. Yes, I know. It's not only the internet. Everything is important at once. A lot of money. Super. My friends, digital sovereignty strategy. Balanced tech sourcing, let's say, for example. Super. My friends, privacy enforcement. So real oversight, not paperwork. I don't want to see the paperwork. I want to see actually the real things. You understand? And my friends, one more thing, which is actually extremely important, which is called regional infrastructure cooperation. I mentioned in the previous video, I don't want to bother you. If we want to actually cooperate between ourselves in the Balkans, especially in the Balkans, you have to release your mind from history. You have to release your mind from politics. You have to release your mind from literally everything and just focus on cooperating. Ask help. But these dinosaurs that we have at the moment in our governments in the Balkan countries, my friends, which are 77, 65, even the younger ones are stupid, believe it or not. My friends, they're actually, how can I say, always in war with somebody. Always. They're always fighting with somebody about something that happened 1000 years ago. Remember this. And they're making everybody angry. So, of course, my friends, the European Union countries in the Balkans will get more money, more funding, and better investors, because the investors are gonna invest into the stability, where they will see where it's stable, where it's actually protected by something from Brussels. You understand? They're not going to invest in the country where actually doesn't know where to focus. They don't know if they should focus west or east. So you see, even though I mentioned in the previous episode, watch my previous episode, super, very, very good episode. Even though I mentioned, my friends, we have to compete now with literally everybody. Literally everybody in the Balkans. But we cannot compete alone because, my friends, the Balkan countries are not that big. They're not that developed. They're beautiful. They're extremely beautiful. Fifi, Miran? They're extremely beautiful, but they're not. We're not on par, especially with technology. As I said, 25 years behind this part of Europe here, the Central and the West Europe, and maybe, my friends, 100 years behind America and Asia, unfortunately. So you see, if you want to actually attract and if you want to do this shit, first of all, you have to release your mind from politics, from history, even from religion. Honestly, because technology is like an art. These things are very interesting, very good, and very profitable. Because they're profitable and because they can be used for good causes, of course, but they can be used for bad causes as well. You understand, my friends? Surveillance, blah, blah, blah. And the good causes, my friends, actually benefit for you personally to make your life more efficient. But, my friends, because our politicians in the Balkans, they're using this for bad causes, and they're using this to gather even more money from their citizens. For now. I actually mentioned, I don't want to bother you, and I finish, how many? 28 minutes, super. My friends, we should form an investment fund. Invest money in this fund, and this fund will invest into the Balkan technology sector. But for this fund to function, there should be people who are totally released from bullshit, totally released from propaganda, very important for propaganda, and people who are actually very smart, because in the Balkans you have to navigate. It's not like you have money and you invest and that's it. No. You have to navigate and find the tricks and tips, because everybody will be after your money. Because this sector is full with money and it's full with power and it's captured by the big elites. But that doesn't mean that you and me, my friend, we cannot compete on the smaller market with smaller margins. Understood? That doesn't mean. But, my friends, as I said, for this, we have to have good-hearted people with moral. Very important. My friends, thank you very much for watching. I really love you. A like and a subscribe. I don't want to bother you. How many? 29 minutes. I opened this Buy Me a Link coffee if you want to donate to me something. If not, here it is. And see you very soon into the next episode. Until then, my friends, ciao.